live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live. I'm Heidi Hatch. It is Thursday, February 1st. We made it through January. We're going in depth tonight on the latest bills the Utah legislature is working on. Before we dive in, though, we want to take a look at what is making headlines across the state today. First up here, new developments in the Ruby Franke Jody Hildebrandt child abuse case. Hildebrandt was in court today where the judge reviewed a temporary restraining order. It goes over her house and finances. The judge ruling that Hildebrandt is allowed to sell her home, but money from the sale has to be held in an account until a judge rules on restitution for the children who suffered abuse. Any money left over after restitution is actually paid will be returned to Hildebrandt. Also in the news today, the Salt Lake City Police Department needing your help identifying a robbery suspect. According to police, this man right here on your screen displayed a gun, demanded money from a convenience store near 800 East and 4 South. If you recognized him, you're asked to contact Salt Lake City Police. And also making headlines today, a lot of questions remaining about a building collapse in Boise, Idaho. At least 3 people were killed, 9 others injured. It came after a steel hangar that was under construction there collapsed yesterday afternoon. OSHA investigators are now going through the damage as they try to figure out exactly what happened. Also, Utah Congressman John Curtis and Governor Spencer Cox, they are going to be headed to the border. They have separate plans to visit the southern border. Governor Cox and 14 other governors will tour the border in Texas this Sunday. Then next Thursday, Representative Curtis and 14 Republicans will head to the Arizona-Mexico border. The lawmakers are calling on the Biden administration to do more to secure the border. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive. Joining the conversation, you can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TV Heidi Hatch, wherever you go. Weigh in and tell us what you're thinking about the day's news. Well, Californians are bracing for back-to-back atmospheric rivers. Downpours made morning commutes tough in Southern California. This is video from Long Beach dealing with significant flooding there. A whole lot of rain. Elevations are getting some much needed snow as well. Maybe too much all at once. My daughter living in California, and while she's getting a break from the snow she hates, there's a lot of rain right now coming down, and that's headed our way, I'm assuming.
That's kind of classic California fashion, though. They do the whole feast and famine thing,
yeah,
where they go months without any kind of rain, and all of a sudden it all just falls at once. And yeah, we are getting a couple pieces of that. I pulled up the Park City and Deer Valley forecast for the next couple of days because I know you want to go skiing this weekend. It's going to cool off into the 20s on Saturday, and you should be dealing with a little bit of fresh snow. It's not going to be a huge storm. It's going to be a little bit wet, but we're looking at maybe 2 to 7 inches up there on the hill, so not too bad. Here's a live look across the Wasatch Front. High temperature today of 58 degrees. Not breaking any records again. The record was 63 set back in 2003 for the state. Normal is now 41, so we're running about 17 degrees above normal. Here's a live look from US 6. This is towards Soldier Summit in central Utah. We've got a couple wet flakes just starting to fall now. Roads are primarily wet now, but that's going to change overnight tonight. We do have winter weather advisories in that area through 5 p.m. on Saturday night. And if we look towards central Utah, we've got some winter storm warnings extending down through southwestern Utah, and even a winter storm warning for the mountains in the southeastern portion of the state for the La Salles, the Abajos, the Blue Mountains. You're going to be getting some significant snow over the next couple of days here, and that includes the town of Monticello as well. Radar starting to fill in, especially across southwestern Utah. We've got that mountain snow, a couple strikes of lightning even popping up. It's going to take a little bit for all this moisture to really reach us here in northern Utah, but we are seeing a good band of moisture now working its way through northwest Arizona towards St. George. That'll be there over the next couple of hours, and here in northern Utah, mostly just some light showers falling up in the mountains, but you can't rule out a couple raindrops reaching the valley floors here over the next hour or two. The heaviest rainfall looks like it's going to come right between 7 and 9 o'clock tonight here across the Wasatch Front. You can start to see those yellows pop up here on the radar. Valley rain and mountain snow for now. And then we start to drop those snow levels through the day on Friday. So by tomorrow morning, we could be dealing with some snow in the Cedar City area, and it'll likely snow through much of the day on Friday in that area between Cove Fort and Cedar City. That's going to be the trouble spot on I-15 here. Also some mountain snow on I-70 up towards I-80. If you're headed into southwest Wyoming, you will be dealing with mountain snow on Friday as well. And as we roll through the afternoon, we actually get a little bit of a frontal passage here, so that reinvigorates some of the showers here across the Wasatch Front through the late afternoon hours, and then things start to quiet down Friday night into Saturday, and that's when we get that changeover from rain to snow. And there's not a whole lot of moisture left when that happens, so the future snowfall amounts will be generally light here across the Wasatch Front, looking anywhere between 0 to 3 inches, Alta potentially getting up towards 16 inches, and down in southern Utah, we're looking at totals between 1 to 2 feet. Bryan Head could potentially get another 8 to 14 inches by Saturday afternoon out of this storm, but generally a very widespread quarter to maybe a half inch or more across much of the state. The only place getting a little bit less will be the Uinta Basin, as far as also extreme southeastern Utah. So talking about Monument Valley, you might get a little bit, but not a whole lot here over the next couple of days. And then once this storm's out of here Saturday afternoon into Sunday, we get a brief lull on the day Sunday. So pretty nice skies, though we have some showers redeveloping through the afternoon out of the southwest yet again, reaching us here by early Monday morning, and it will be valley rain and mountain snow yet again, at least through Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. That's when we could see some colder air filtering in and potentially some snow dropping down to the valley floors once again. In St. George, 49 tomorrow, rain showers, and then a couple morning showers on Saturday. We'll bump those temperatures up into the 50s, back into the mid 50s for Monday and Tuesday, with those rain showers turning on as our second of the two storms really rolls through. And in fact, it's really the same storm. It's just latching on to two different rivers of moisture coming up out of the tropics. Light rain tomorrow here in Salt Lake City, with a chance of the snow mixing in, especially Saturday morning. Partly cloudy skies on Sunday. Temperatures hanging out into the 40s, and then we potentially see another mix of rain and snow again on Wednesday and Thursday, with those highs staying still rather mild in the mid 40s. Our normal high is 41 now here in Salt Lake City.
All right, so my car had a good run. I got it washed. It had a whole week of feeling shiny, but
well, thank you for all the moisture.
You're welcome. Yes, there we go. So now I think we can probably give the car wash a break for a few days, it looks like.
Yes.
All right, Trent, thank you. Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about changes that happen in your neighborhood. A lot are on the way. Get updated forecast live radar right on your phone. The app is free to download. Right now, there is a push at the Utah Capitol to keep everyone safe on our roads. Brian Malahy joining us from the Capitol tonight. And Brian, the cost of getting a DUI for the accused could actually jump 10 times or more if one of these bills is passed into law. What law is this, and how does it work?
Yeah, so these are a package of bills. One package, several bills. One bill would have people who kill someone in a DUI crash. So a DUI driver who kills someone who is the breadwinner of a family could be liable for child support, paying restitution to that victim's family, and that could go until a child is 18 years old. Or if a child is special needs and that breadwinner is no longer living, then the DUI offender could pay child support for even longer to that family. And so right now, according to Representative Steve Elison, and we've reported these numbers before, the average DUI in Utah costs a person, when you wrap in defense and all of the associated costs, fees that have to be paid, classes taken, things like that, you rope that all in, $10,000. If this bill goes forward, $100,000, maybe more, maybe $150,000, who knows? It could be devastating in terms of a person who is convicted of a deadly DUI. There are also a couple of other bills up here relating to DUI. One would be minimum mandatory prison sentence in a DUI crash. I'm told 5 years for that. And another would say, listen, if you have been a convicted DUI offender, or if you have been, you've received several DUIs and you're still waiting for your cases to come to court, then you would sit in jail until those cases actually hit the courtroom. Right now, the system, according to what I'm told, is, well, you know, you have a DUI, get a second DUI, you get released, et cetera. You could have a third DUI before your cases are ever adjudicated. That bill would seek to fix that. So this is really a comprehensive approach to penalties, increasing penalties. Some people here don't like it. Utah criminal defense lawyers don't like it. They say that increasing penalties is not the answer. Treatment is.
And I think that's the big question. I have a friend who lost her 13-year-old son in an accident that was DUI related, and a heartbreaking case. And I think families would like to see the behavior change of people where they just don't drink and drive. But without that changing right now, it seems like the plan on Utah's Capitol Hill is to make sure there's harsher punishments, hoping to maybe change behavior that way.
Yeah, and also to get the word out that, look, you know, you could be on the hook for a whole lot of money, a whole lot more money than it costs right now, and it's expensive now. So I also talked to Glendon Mitchell, who is the grandfather of Eli Mitchell, the boy who was killed by a DUI driver who had multiple convictions more than a year ago. And he's up here lobbying to try to get some of these bills through the legislature. And there seems to be an appetite for this kind of thing, that, you know, there are a lot of people, you know, it's hard to find, I think, people who say, you know, DUI is okay, you know, or you should be able to go out and do it. I think those days are long gone. You know, there are a lot of other options out there right now in order to get around. You don't need to drive. And so that is the, you know, that he's here. There are others here as well who are people who have lost loved ones or whose loved ones have been severely injured because of DUI crashes, and they are making a very compelling case, I think, to legislators here at the Capitol. I was also told today that perhaps the Restaurant Association may be opposed to some of these changes as well, because it would put too much potentially on proprietors of restaurants to ensure that a person isn't drinking too much. And the question is, well, okay, you know, where was that person before they got to my establishment? I don't know. I don't know how many drinks they had, that sort of thing. So there are some questions here that perhaps are going to get, you know, even more discussion. But it's just a gut-wrenching, gut-wrenching story. It is so difficult and so emotional and so real to too many lives and the people of Utah. And Heidi, I'm sorry about your friend and her family and their loss. That is just, we've heard that too often.
Too often indeed, but as you mentioned there, the Mitchell family up there advocating for Eli Mitchell. So we'll be following this. Yeah. We know there's a lot of moving parts in this when laws change. So thank you very much for your coverage, and we'll stay on top of this. As the legislative session continues, stay with 2 News. We'll be tracking the bills and also the issues that impact you and your family. Download our 2 News app for breaking news alerts from the Capitol. Well, this happened. Have you seen the video? Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston has a mess to clean up after a fire suppression system there went off, spreading foam all over the outside of a hangar. A giant bubble bath. It happened when fire suppression foam was inadvertently released in a United Airlines hangar. Environmental teams there with United Airlines are cleaning up this mess of foam with the help of the Houston Fire Department and Public Works. It's going to take a bit. No one was inside the hangar when it happened. That is a lot of foam to clean up. Wow. Well,
I've only seen that much foam coming off the sea before, not necessarily coming out of an airport hangar.
Yeah, and this probably has a few more chemicals to it, so I think they're taking extra effort to clean this up and make sure that it's safe. They use it, I think, just in case they have those big fires with airplanes that are filled with fuel. Yep. So, yeah, a big mess there. Luckily, we're not dealing with it here in Utah, but we do have weather moving in, so we're going to be talking about that through the rest of the night.
Of course, yes. Rain and snow moving in, and it's going to be a wet next couple of days, but drying out for Sunday, so not too bad.
All right, sounds good. Sun on Sunday. Thanks so much for watching 2 News Live. We'll be here at 5:30 Monday through Friday. We hope you join us again for more